saw an ad from McDonnell Aircraft, it's now McDonnell Duck Assembly, and I applied. I sent my resume, and I was invited to come for an interview. And I was told at that interview in 1951, it was September 3rd, sorry, Mr. Clay, we have no jobs for professional Negroes.
One of the things that people don't fully understand about what became known as the digital divide was that African Americans actually played a very large role in the beginning of technology. People like Roy Clay. Roy Clay was the first research and development manager for computers at Hewlett Packard in 1965.
I read a newspaper ad where HP was looking for a software development manager. And I wonder, what are they looking for a software development manager for? They are not in the computer business. And the next week, the same ad ran. And my curiosity was even more piqued. So I responded. I sent them an application and my resume. They called me for an interview. And I said, my God, why did I do that? I'm not interested. I'm not looking for a job. I don't know what they're doing at HP, but I'll go and interview anyway. I decided to go over my lunch hour. I'd had an 11:30 appointment for the beginning of my interview. And I said I would go for an hour and a half, and I'll be back at 1 o'clock. Well, it went on past 1. It went on to 5 o'clock that afternoon. And we still hadn't finished my interview. They invited me back the next day. I went again. And when I left at the end of that day, I was exhausted, and I said, look, I'm not interested in the job because they don't know enough about what they're doing getting into the computer business. So instead of an hour and a half, I spent a day and a half interviewing. And they sent me an offer maybe 3 days later, and I politely declined. They asked me to come back again, and they thought maybe it was because of what they were offering income revenue. And I went back I went back for the second interview. And at that time, I was about to leave and say, no, I'm not interested at all. Thank you very much. They increased the offer that they made. And it happened that I learned from David Packard, it was his project, that he had the possibility of buying Digital Equipment Corporation, DEC, for $25 million, he said. But rather than buy DEC, he wanted to start a computer business of his own within HP. So I thought that was very fascinating, and it was like starting a company within a company. It was really challenging. The one major reservation I had was that just no one that knew about software development and not much about computer hardware development and nothing about the computer industry. That if I wanted to get approval for something, I first had to educate before I could sell. And again, fortunately, David Packard was the kind of person who, from scratch, he could go to make a very good decision, what I thought was a good decision, within a half hour. And he approved every recommendation that I made. Every recommendation I made, David Packard accepted without reservation.
Frank Green was one of the early semiconductor designers for Fairchild Semiconductor.
These were called dual inline packages. And the memory chip now, and this is laid out, you can see in a very regular section. So you see a section of, these were memory chips, and in here you have the circuits that would actually drive the data in and out of the memory chips. And this is the memory board that went in the Iliac 4 computer. And there were 4 of these memory boards in each of the little computers, and there was 64. 64 of these systems. Now, each of those computers, those little small computer systems of the 64, they each were like 6 inches wide. So you take 64, you divide it by half, you have 32 feet.